People's Front for Transition, PFT, or otherwise known as the Red Card Front, has visited for the first time Acholi land. And today, this morning, Thursday, 25th, we have been in Kiiza, where we launched the front in Acholi East. We are now headed to Gulu to launch the front in Acholi West. And the main thrust of this front takes a background of recognizing that Uganda today is sitting on a very, very deep crisis. A crisis which, if the people of this country don't rally quickly together and remove it, the crisis will remove us. So it's either us removing the crisis or the crisis finishing us. And so we are telling the people of Uganda that it's possible to bring an end to this crisis. Because although the crisis manifests in economic and social problems like the deep and biting poverty and deprivation, like the collapsed education and healthcare in this country, but these problems that we see actually arise from a political problem whereby the greatest majority of the Ugandans have no voice, have no say, and therefore have no share in what goes on in the country, and are looted, and they have no response, are displaced from their land, they have no response, they have no services, they have no response. What we are trying to do is to create a collective voice and a collective energy to say enough is enough. And when the people of Uganda all get the message, rally together in all our various parties, this is a non-partisan front. It includes all people who want change from whichever political party, even if they were from NRM. And there are many people trapped in NRM who are victims of the misrule, just like the people who are outside the NRM. So we are running everybody to say enough is enough. And that is by joining the front to end this. This is not an electoral platform. In other words, we are not uniting to support candidates in an election. We are united to launch a resistance against the military junta that has crippled our country for nearly 4 decades. We are saying this cannot go on any longer. And that's why we have chosen the symbol of a red card, just like in soccer, where the referee pulls out the red card from the pocket and says it's time up, you have to get out of the pitch. We are commissioning all Ugandans to become referees, to lift the red card up to the terrible players that have broken the legs of Ugandans, that have broken the lives of young people. We are telling them it's time up. You must get out. And this means soon enough we are going to blow the whistle. And once we blow the whistle will be repeated across the country, and our people get ready for action. It is that action that will end the misrule, that will end the captivity of our people, and launch a transition to a democratic society. So this is why this front will end with launching a new Uganda after transitional period. So we are launching what is called the transition agenda, the program for changing Uganda into a Uganda where we all have equal voices, equal opportunities, equal rights, and share equally into the wealth that God has provided us in this country. Once we have moved around the country, the whistle will blow. Wait for that moment. And first of all, it has to be understood that the red card front is a struggle. In other words, it's a form of war, except that we are launching a war that is non-violent, where we do not use guns, but we are using our collective strength against brutal gunmen who are ready to kill, who have used their guns to massacre Ugandans. So we know that there is a risk to ourselves. But we also know that no society has ever been free without making sacrifices. So we are not afraid of the cost that we may pay. However, this can be done in a manner where those with guns may find no one to shoot, where those with tear gas may find nobody to tear gas, yet they see the power of the people. But also, the many confrontations that the people of Uganda have had with these gunmen have also impressed it upon the gunmen themselves that they too are victims. Most of the people holding guns are being used against their own interests, against their own parents and brothers and sisters. And so we know that if the people of Uganda stand together firmly and say enough is enough, the people with the guns will join them, as has happened all over the world. Once people stand together, those that were being used against them join them. And that is going to happen here in Uganda, because those with guns are our brothers and sisters. They know that the suffering we are enduring is the same suffering they have. Their kids are not in school. When they are sick, they have no health care. They are as poor as anybody else. So together, we must make this happen. First of all, as we have very clearly pointed out, this front is a front for all, and it's open to all. Those who are already in it and those who are yet to join it. We believe that this is a continuous process, and that by the time the change comes, everybody will be together. But even if we are not together, the history of changes all over the world show that the struggle against the people who oppress others does not have to happen when all are united under one platform. We can have different platforms, provided we all identify where the problem is, and from our different platforms attack that problem and remove it. What would be disastrous, and what we call on the people of Uganda to guard against as much as possible, is for those who are oppressed to, for any reason, turn their actions against each other. We must continue, all of us, facing where our common problem lies. And that way we shall all be free. And then we will organize an environment in which Ugandans can compete. Ugandans will live under different organizations, but in freedom, where people make their choices freely, and those who are not chosen accept those who have been chosen and work with them. Okay. Let's have courage, let's have confidence that this is our land, this is our country, only granted to us by God, not by any man. And with God, we should ensure that that equality in which we were all created is respected. And God is with those who seek justice. So